We're waving.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Settle It on the Screen. I'm your host, Ninglendo, for the evening. Michael and Nick couldn't make it this evening, so I apologize in advance. They're experiencing technical difficulties because of a thunderstorm. Right now, they're without power and internet, so if they can get that back running, they might join us in later, but right now it's not looking so good. So, like I said, I apologize for that. It's going to be a little bit different format than previous weeks. It's going to be kind of like a Let's Play with Ninglendo, but I'm still going to take questions, and we'll still talk about some topics about the classic gaming community and news, what's going on. But first game that I'm going to play tonight for you guys is Life Force, and this is a game that I absolutely love. I currently have the marathon record with over 12 million points. It took like 20 hours. But I'm here to teach you guys tonight how to play some of these harder Konami games. So we're going to kick it off pretty soon here. One thing I like to say about this game is it's semi-patternable. There are sections in this game that you can run a pattern on, but they also throw random elements to you. So I might pause it here and there to kind of explain some of the sections of the game and how they work. But we're going to kick it off. And first thing I like to say is the first part of this section is patternable. And you want to get up as many power-ups that you can possibly get. And the order of the power-ups kind of matter too. I like to get the laser first, and then I will worry about getting the first option. And now I'm going to worry about getting the missiles. Keep this speed in reserve. For the most part, 90% of, I'd say more like 98% of this first level is patternable. I want to get the second option next, because not only will that boost my laser's firepower, but it'll also boost my missiles. Anybody can Skype in tonight. You just have to go to twingalaxieslive.com and click on one of those beautiful blue call buttons at the bottom of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the missiles. So next we are shooting for the laser. And we'll get one speed. You want to at least have one speed for this boss coming up. There's our laser and our speed. Get another speed upgrade. That way we can for sure dodge the boss's arms. If you follow that top path right there, you'll gain an extra life. It's kind of like a bonus life. hidden bonus life. So the mechanic of this boss is, for this first loop, he's going to spawn these arms that are going to chase you wherever you go. See, I can move up and down, and the arms are going to follow me. So we want to go counterclockwise. And then come in for the kill. Just like that. No, I'm not speed running. I'm not a speed runner type guy. More of a points guy. So our goal here at the beginning is to get up the power-ups to grant us the force ability, which, in my opinion, is probably the most useless out of all the abilities. It don't protect you against enemies themselves, but it'll protect you against one bullet. So you can still run into enemies and die. But if you get shot by one of the blue bullets, you can live for one more hit. Most part right here, you just want to stay at the middle of the screen till you hit these volcanoes, and you want to shoot the tops of them, because that will make it so the rocks don't fly out. Another volcano. Left side's the safest right there. Pretty much the paths that I'll be following. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here and explain this. Excuse me. These rocks are completely random, so you'll get a different bunch every time. The key here is to keep firing, because as long as you fire, the NES will go into a slowdown, which will make the rocks a little bit easier to dodge. But as far as this goes, it can completely screw you over, or it can be easy or not so easy, but not screw you over. It's completely random right here. Do we have Ben on the line?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
So those guys had their power knocked out, huh?
Yeah.
I would have guessed that he fell asleep on the couch with a lit cigar, and the place burned down.
The lit cigar.
The lit cigar.
Okay, this section coming up here, you don't want to fire, because it'll split these rocks up if you hit them, and that can cause you lots of problems when you're going through that path right there. But right here, we're going to take middle path. You want to constantly be firing, because if you can semi-slow the NES down because of the hardware issues, that's an advantage. Obviously, you want to at least have the missiles here if you died previously. Right before that, go for the missiles. I just go left to right. And then I take middle path. I have experimented with which ones you should destroy first. The center one is probably the most dangerous. But I have the most success going from left to right on that boss. First loop of this game, this boss will just keep going in the same direction. Whereas when you get to the second and third loop, he'll switch the directions that his arms are going, and they'll get longer quicker. If you take too much time there, his arms grow longer and longer. Now this is the dreaded third level that kind of trips most players up if they're starting to practice it, but it is actually one of the easier levels. You want to stay as far back as you can. And note that the lone birds that are coming out usually turns into those indestructible fireballs. So you want to keep an eye out for them. Not all of them do it, but like I said, it's semi-patternable, so the same ones that come out will do it every time. This is on the NES. I'm playing on an actual original hardware and everything.
Did you know, Glenn, that they just finally released Life Force for the Nintendo Wii U?
Oh, did they?
Yeah. $4.99. Not a bad deal.
It's not a bad deal. I've had more than my fair share of gameplay from this game. So there you go. If anybody wants to pick it up and has a Wii U, I totally recommend it. Worth the price.
I think I'm pretty much the only one in the world that's got a Wii U.
At this... Currently, maybe so. I know a couple people that do. But I know more people that own Xboxes and PlayStations than a Wii U. Which is weird to say. This is all patternable too, where these flames come out. But they're easy enough to dodge. Like I said, you want to stay as far back as you can. This boss, his name is Tetron Cruiser. He's probably the easiest boss out of... Well, I'd say second easiest. The easiest boss is the final boss. You can't get much easier than that, but that guy's pretty easy.
Is that the boss where all you have to do is hit him once, pretty much, and he just pretty much self-destructs? Or is that Contra that I'm thinking of?
No, you got to hit him a couple times, but it's really it's no feat at all. The final boss is just this dragon that circles around this like planet-looking thing.
Oh, that sphere and goes in and out of it and stuff? I remember now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to it. This level will pretty much just say middle screen. And you'll be fine, especially if you have power-ups. Obviously, dodge the stuff that you need to dodge. But stay as far back as you can in middle screen, and you, for the most part, be pretty good. You might have to dodge a couple things. This is completely pattern-based. You're going to have to learn the paths. This is going to be trial and error. But the path that I use is the easiest for me. It might not be the easiest for you, but this one works for me the best. These you want to destroy right away, otherwise they'll spawn these indestructible blue balls. If anybody that's watched previous marathons of mine, especially Life Force marathons, will know the blue balls jokes were plenty. Stay middle screen once again, and as far back as you can right here, and you should be safe. As long as you don't move left and right, you'll be fine. You might have to move up like I did right there to dodge that bullet, but that's about all you'll have to do if you stay in the middle. See, I'm here to train you noobs into be pros at these games. I'll get as in-depth as I possibly can. All right, continue to stay middle screen. There's going to be a couple things that we're going to have to dodge. Some indestructible rocks up here right there. I shoot right down the middle of the spine and stay as far back as you can. This is patternable. These will, if you stay in the middle for that part right there, these will come out the same every single time. And that goes for the same for the second and third loop too. And of course, if you keep firing, it'll slow down a little bit and that'll help you out. Third easiest boss right here. If you don't have any power-ups, he can be a little bit challenging if you're not familiar with bullet hell games. This, in my opinion, right here is the hardest level in the game. This is where the game takes the gloves off. Not only do we have enemies that shoot a lot of bullets in this, and we also have a lot of enemies that shoot bullets, but there's some obstacles in this level. They're kind of tricky and could take a little bit of precise D-pad movement or joystick if you're playing with the advantage. And this is one of those games where you can just hold the button down. You don't have to tap it. It has auto fire. All right, now we can move forward. Now some enemies are going to spawn behind us, so you don't want to stay far back through this section. That's a new mistake. It's going to be right after this part. There they are. There we go. That's kind of a trickier maneuver. You want to, as crazy as this sounds, you want to stay top of the screen and keep your options like how I have them right now. And you really don't have to move out of the way through that section. And let me tell you, it does take a little bit of courage to be able to do that, but once you figure out that trick, you'll be golden. Stay a little bit ahead of the screen so you can at least get missiles to kill the enemies that are on the ground. Like, you want to kill those things right away. So then when you're making your move, they're not firing shots at you. Stay center through this tunnel, kind of towards the top, so you can kill him right away with the missiles. I'm going to kill him right away. Now this part's important too, because you want to take the top square blocks. See how those bottom shots, they can't hit me if I take the top path. Here is middle. And we're nearing the end of this level. So stay towards the front, close to his face, and then just move back. What game would you guys like to see next, Contra or Castlevania? You want to aim for the eyes on this guy. Excuse me. Last level. Contra. So we got 1 vote Contra from Randall.
How about some bad dudes? You got some bad dudes?
No, I don't, actually. I only have good games in my NES collection.
Wow, you got told.
Hey, Randall. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, Glenn?
Not a whole lot. This part's probably the toughest section in the whole game. It's these balls right here.
The blue balls?
Yeah, the flashing balls. Semi-blue balls. Not only can they fly out at high speeds, but they can shoot projectiles at you that you can't destroy with your weapons. If you do have the Ripple upgrade, they will not fire shots at you. But that's the only time the Ripple upgrade is useful in this game. Stay towards the left side here, because there's going to be an enemy on the right that you can kill with your missiles. Kill the guy on the left with your lasers. I'm going to upgrade right here and keep it, not try to pick up any more upgrades in case I do get hit with a projectile. I can switch right away back to the force field.
Mindful Smile has a good point. What about some Metroid?
Oh, I can play some Metroid one night.
Yeah, Metroid would be nice to see.
I can beat that within a couple of lives, if not beat it without a death. It takes me a little bit over an hour to do 100%, which if I play Metroid, I do 100% because I like to enjoy the game as much as I possibly can. I can get the best possible ending that you can get without using glitches and doing 100%.
We'll very nice.
We'll put it that way.
That's a huge game for you to memorize all the locations for and be able to do 100% in an hour.
The thing is, though, Mooner, is when I was growing up, like in second grade, I still have them. I have hand-drawn maps that I made.
Mm-hmm. I remember with graph paper we used to do that.
Yep. I stole some graph paper from the classroom and took it home and hand drew some Metroid maps.
And these kids these days, that was so easy, man. They just get on the internet and look up crap. We had to discover everything ourselves.
Exactly. I have some really cool tricks that I've discovered on my own, just playing the game over and over again.
Well, in that case, I must insist at some point you play Metroid for us.
I will. If Mooner, if Ben wants to play another Metroid game alongside me, that would be great.
I could do like Super Metroid while you're doing the original Metroid.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Be like we can just play Metroid, like how we used to do at Cats.
Yeah.
On the weekends. Now, you can either go through this gauntlet right here, or you can do it the Wimpy Pansy way, which we're going to do the Wimpy Pansy way. Then you don't have to worry about anything, really. So stay at the very top, even though that sounds ludicrous for this gauntlet. Move to the right. Now move to the left. Now move to the right a little bit. And now we don't have to touch the controller, and we just beat the game without dying. See, kids, you don't need the 30 lives code. You can beat these games without dying. It just takes lots and lots of practice. Only wimps use the Konami code. Noobs and wimps. So, I guess Contra it is for the next game. How familiar are you with Contra, Randall?
Oh, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I have not played Contra for probably 15, 16 years. Easy. I know that's sad, but it's true.
It is. We need to get you an NES and some Contra.
You know what? I actually have an NES out in my shed. I need to dust it off. It's in its box with a gun and everything. I need to dust it off and bring it in.
Contra's getting expensive nowadays to buy.
Well, I believe it. I mean, it was even back then, it was the game to have.
It was. Everybody had this game that I remember.
Yep, I remember Contra. It was Contra, Tyson,
yep.
of course, Mario Brothers, Zelda.
Yep. All right, guys. I might be a little bit rusty on this one. Life Force is a game that I can pick up on my worst thing and play through. But this one it's a little less patternable. There's a little bit more randomness. Some parts are patternable. Not very many. And the randomness can really get to you. So we'll start off here. See how we can do being rusty here. Golden rule of Contra. Always keep moving. Do not stay in one spot for too long because enemies will spawn. There'll be a ton of bullets on the screen. You'll just make a mess of yourself. Second golden rule of Contra, do not jump on those bridges. Even though you look really cool doing it, it does not benefit you. Actually, it puts you in harm's way. Enemies cannot spawn in the water. And if they touch the water, they die. So your safest bet through there is to actually fall through the bridge and go through the water. Even though you'd like to look like a badass and jump through that burning bridge, it's not beneficial to you in any way. You want to get the top one, because that is your rapid fire. Now we have rapid fire spread gun.
Now you're pretty much printing money.
Yep, I am printing points. Or scabbing points, as Ryan would like to say. I have the ability to scab. You want to kill the guy at the top very first, because he can actually lock onto your position and shoot at you. And just sit here with the spread gun and blast the crap out of the door. Golden rule number 3. For these sections, stay in the middle of the screen. One thing to note is the bullets from the enemies cannot go directly center in the screen. So as long as you remain directly in the center, like they can, but they can't. If it makes sense. If you're in the center, they'll shoot around you. Like that guy demonstrated, since I was not in the center of the screen, he shot down the middle. If I was in the center of the screen, he would not have. But I moved out of the center of the screen so I could hit that orb on the left side. Ducking makes you completely invincible from all the shots on the screen. So that is a good technique. Key here is not to get filled. That's an industry term. I see Phil's watching, so you don't want to get greedy and go off and try to fire an extra couple shots. Just fire 2 and duck. Kill the things on the outside first. Because once you destroy everything on the bottom part of the screen here, the real boss will spawn. So if we don't have to worry about the projectiles of the things on the left and right side, this makes this boss battle really easy with the spread gun. Filled is when you get greedy, like I said, and die because of that. Phil would be the greatest video game player of all time if he never got filled, but
Only on the Commodore 64, that is.
no, I'm serious. The only time Phil ever dies is because he gets greedy. It's not like stupid human error jump mistake. It's because he's going for points. The B is the barrier, so we are invincible right now. Like, even I die because I make stupid decisions in games. Or, like, the button slipped. Stuff like that. Phil doesn't do that. He only dies because of greed. So, if he would never get filled, he'd be the greatest video game player of all time. All right, gentlemen. We want to kill his hands first. And then you can just stand here with the spread gun and see Phil's in chat here. Phil cannot. No, this is not the final boss. We still got quite a few stages to go.
The snow stage, that's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate the snow stage. Snow stage is my least favorite. I absolutely hate that stage.
And why is that?
So many things can go wrong with the randomness. I mean, it's 50-50. The turrets will always be in the same place, but the randomness of the general enemies that they'll spawn could really screw you over on that one. There's nothing manlier than a game of Contra. Like, the only thing manlier is if I was sitting here with a cigar in one hand, a beer in the other, and playing with, like, my shirt off.
And watching Predator at the same time.
Yeah, and watching Predator. Like, testosterone level would be through the roof, man. Which I've actually done before, Randall, is I've watched Predator while playing Contra.
Nice.
And let me tell you, man, that was a beautiful experience.
I imagine.
And drinking a beer, so it was like, I'm all that is man right now. I'm probably the most manliest man on the planet right now.
The only thing you needed was Arnold in there commentating your gameplay.
Yeah.
Did you have your shirt off when you're doing it?
No, I did not, but the urge was there to tear my shirt off completely and just be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, Gentleman Gamer's got it right. A Cuban cigar and the world, and then your finest cognac.
Yep, exactly. Now we have, oh my god. This can go either way. With the spread gun, it's a little bit easier. Obviously, everything is a little bit easier with the spread gun. Don't get greedy, don't get filled. You'll be all right. Just focus on one at a time. These things are heat-seeking, too. Here we go, the ice stage. Snowfield. Oh my god, I hate this level. Here we go. Now things can... Nope, it already quickly turned sour. Thank God I've had plenty of practice of dying right there so I can get past this game. Well, it's not a no-death run, but we can still make it through.
Yeah, I see what you mean by the randomness.
Oh, no! I forgot completely what the power-ups were there. Funny story about this is I thought everyone knew this trick right here at this mini-boss. And a couple of years ago, I was at MGC, and Trickman Terry, who wrote for Electronic Gaming Monthly, didn't even know about this trick. And I thought, like, that was something, like, my cousins found out long ago.
Yeah, I remember that, actually.
Up. I was like, what? You didn't know about that? Yeah, you can do that.
Hey, we'll see you later, Orbital. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, Orbital. Thanks for tuning in. Now we're shooting ping pong balls. Let's go. Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet through this, but I'm shooting ping pong balls at that giant mother brain looking thing.
Oh, you had a nice little pattern going there. Good job.
Like I said, I'm really rusty on this. I haven't played this one in forever, but oh no! Thank God I just gained a free life right there.
So for the original Nintendo, there was Contra, then there was Super C, and then there was one more, wasn't there? Like right at the end of the life cycle of the NES.
Was there? I thought there was just the two.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Genesis, Contra Hard Corps.
Yeah, Hard Corps was on Genesis. Sega.
Gotta love them.
Okay, this part right here I'm going to pause and explain. You wanted to go for it when they both come out at the same time. Contra Forces, Phil says. All right. This guy, there's really nothing I can really tell you except you got to master your jumps. Be prepared for him to throw out 3 mines at a time. It seems that if you're close to him, he throws out less mines. See, I don't have Contra Forces. Oh, fudge. I forgot how to do that. Be careful right at that jump. Because, yeah, that door right there.
Did you know that you can jump on top of those?
On what?
though, is I think I'm a little bit behind on the stream, but it's the partitions with the spikes that come up from the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you known that?
Well, I think I was like 13 or 14. So I'd say
And
about...
you've never bothered to tell me this?
Yeah, I've known that for a good 25, 30 years, Glenn.
And we've known each other for at least half that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mooner.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Love it.
Hey, if I shared all my secrets, everyone would be a video game pro.
Yeah, I know. I aped like a couple of them, and look at me now.
Yeah.
This is... Oh my god, I hate this section. Here we go, baby. Final stage. Get some. I'm going to be patient right here.
You're not going to pull a fill?
No, I don't want to get filled. We've come too far. Just so, and if anybody's curious, yes, this game does have a set amount of lives that you can have. After, like, I think it's 3 million points, it stops giving you a life. Then it'll only give you life after every million.
Do you think that was intended, or do you think that the original game designers never thought that anyone would be playing this game to that extent of a loop?
I think that they never thought that they would never, because there's a lot of Konami games that are programmed the same way, where after a certain amount of points, you stop getting lives, and like things can go funky with the game itself. The thing about Konami games is most of them get harder and harder with each loop that you go through.
Well, congratulations, Glenn. First time beating Contra on your own.
Yeah, right.
You made short work of that.
So I'll do Castlevania next. I have enough time to do Castlevania, I do believe. I'm not going to do the point pressing. Obviously, I'm limited on time. But if anybody would like to know the point pressing, I will be doing... I have a blog on Donkey Kong Forum. I'm going to be doing tips and strategy videos on there. So I'm going to eventually give up my point pressing strategies on various games. Strategies on just how to beat the game and strategies on how to break the game. Phil, to answer the question for a max out on Contra, it's 5.5 million and it takes roughly 8 to 10 loops. The game difficulty maxes out on the 5th loop, which I have done, and you can view on my Twitch channel. I have it archived somewhere. But here's Castlevania. This one's mostly patternable. Still a couple of random elements that can happen in the game. This right here will pretty much show you how to just survive, which you're going to obviously need to know how to do before you worry about points. I do have the highest known score on the publicly known score on the Versus Castlevania machine, the arcade cab, which the only difference is it's slightly harder because enemies do a lot more damage than normal. Second loop of that game, you get hit twice and you're dead on the arcade version. Second loop is the max difficulty for this game too. So if you can get down that second loop, you can play it for a long time. There is a set amount of lives that you can gain in the game, and that's 23. Once like typical Konami games, not all Konami games, but most of them, once you roll the score over, you stop gaining lives. This is one of them. Same thing with Life Force, except Life Force takes like 17 hours, whereas rolling the score over on this game can take like a half an hour if you do the point pressing. Holy water is your best friend throughout the entire game. I'm going to stand right next to this block, throw holy water every now and then. He's going to eventually run into it like that. And he's just going to die. I can't shrink my screen at the moment, Phil. I'm sorry. Score won't really matter on this game. I'm not going to attempt to break my score or anything. I'm just kind of rushing through this one. This will just show you basic strategies to survive the game. I'm going to chuck a holy water right there. Get a triple shot and a bonus point up to 1,000 because I double killed with that holy water. Okay, now we're at the infamous Medusa heads, which are actually the easiest games or the easiest enemies in the game. Thing to note about them, you only have to juke the first one, and as long as you keep a forward momentum, they'll go right under your feet. This is patternable. A lot of people loathe the Medusa heads, but they're, like I said, they're actually the easiest enemy in the game because you don't technically have to encounter them. As long as you avoid the first one and keep a forward momentum, they'll all go underneath your legs. Now, there's a couple different ways. I'm doing it the not wimpy way, but if you have the stopwatch right there, you can actually stop those platforms from going up and down and crushing you. But that's the wimpy way.
It might be the easy way, but it's not the Nintendo way.
No, we do it the manly way. We just got done with the game of Contra. We can't do anything with the wimpy, girly way. No shirts allowed.
Oh, you mean you don't want a kelp burger?
Kill burger. Okay, just chuck holy waters. This is actually a wimpy way of beating this boss, but it's not. Even if you didn't have holy waters right here, this boss isn't very challenging at all. You just have to jump over 3 snakes and hit it a couple times with the whip. In the face. Now, when I was a kid, this next level was the one that always choked me up because of these damn hunchbacks. And there's hunchbacks aplenty. But there's actually a simple solution around these guys. So we're going to go ahead of this candle, turn around, and hit them. And this is going to be your basic strategy through the first part of this game. Is to walk under them as they jump, and then turn around and hit them like that. That's the easiest way that I know of where you can avoid those guys. For these crows, they can be a kind of a nuisance because there's gaps and holes that we can fall into. They're going to make 2 movements before they charge at you. It's your choice to either destroy them on their first or second movement, but generally it's locked onto you. So if I'm standing, they're going to be like eye height with my character when they stop. If I'm ducking, they're going to be at my knees. Easiest room in the entire game. You can just rush right through it. That doesn't work all the time, but it'll work 90% of the time. That guy's always going to shoot at you as soon as you make that jump. Just be prepared for that. You want to kill these guys before they even get a chance to come off that platform. That's kind of a tricky one. That was about the trickiest scenario that guy can throw at me. You can jump right over him. We have plenty of health. Holy water once again. And we got 2 levels left. Well, that's fine, Mike. Two levels left. Now, this is going to be the first time that we give up the holy water in the entire run, because we want the stopwatch for this part. As soon as that guy comes on, freeze the screen and just advance forward as far as you can. And we want to get this candle right here, because that gives us our holy water back. Duck. This guy's going to jump through the, yeah. That's kind of a glitch. Just a little bit. All right, now the key to this part coming up is patience. As soon as you see an enemy come up, stop and just wait for it. You want to keep the holy water, and there is a chance where these enemies will spawn different weapons like an axe or something, and you do not want to pick that up. That can cause you lots of problems coming up if you happen to pick up one of those. That's an invincibility. We'll take that anytime. Just run underneath this guy. Now, since we I'll kind of explain this. I'll pause it real quick. Since we sacrificed our stopwatch and we got up and re-picked up the holy water, we lost our triple shot of holy water. And we want at least a double shot of holy water to be able to beat Frankenstein. So this trick right here is I'm behind him, and if you kill multiple enemies or projectiles with the holy water, you'll get the double and triple. So this guy normally will fire projectiles, but if we fire our holy waters right here, it'll destroy the projectiles as they're coming out of his mouth, which will give us the double shot right there. Do not hit the second candle in this room, because it is the dagger, and arguably the worst weapon in the game. And we just got our triple shot. So we are good to go with the Frankenstein boss. And you just want to kind of keep the rhythm of tossing the holy waters right here. Onto this level, stay put right here and wait for these guys to charge you. If you move forward or move backward, they're going to jump at you. You can destroy them every single time if you just stay put right there. If these hunchbacks are on the ground, you want to stay put, because they will charge at you, and then you can get a nice easy shot like I just got off that guy. Phil T. Phil Buddy.
Giving marriage advice.
Yep. Actually, Phil I owe a lot to, because he's the one that's actually told me to start submitting scores.
Did you have to get a second job to pay for all those VHS tapes?
No, I didn't have to get a second job. I had a job at the time. I was making pizzas.
Oh, that's right, at Casey's.
Yep. Making pizzas.
What do you think of that job?
It's retail, and you're working at a gas station. But I did make a bomb-ass pizza. And so I was interested in that fact that I could make a really good pizza. But it sucked. Now I work at a liquor store selling guns.
That's
which is
an awesome job.
Yeah, it's a step up for sure.
You should need to get some time off. Maybe a paid vacation.
A paid vacation. Now you're just dreaming, buddy. Oh, that was close. That was close, gentlemen. Now this section right here chokes a lot of people up. Juke him out, throw your holy water while jumping. Oh my god, they threw a dagger right there. Yeah, don't pick up a dagger if the enemy spawns one. You definitely don't want that damn stuff right here. Once you hit the middle, go right here and just start jumping and chucking holy waters. This is why they call me Ninglendo. I'm pretty good at some Nintendo games.
Is that why you dislike Sega so much? Because you can't put your name in the middle of it?
No, it'd be Glenesis if I did. But I don't like Sega because I just don't like a lot of most of the games. There's only like a handful of games that I like. I'm saying like maybe 5 or 6 on that on that platform.
You know, I remember
What?
4 years ago, I picked up 2 Sega Saturns, and I was going to give you one of them. But then I started getting some games, and I'm like, these games are dumb.
These games are dumb.
Oh,
Hey, Glenn, looks like you're coming up on a commercial here shortly.
Okay. How many minutes?
I can't read it. It's too small. Just give me a heads up.
You have 1 minute remaining.
There you go.
1 minute.
Okay. Well, I was your host in Glendale for the night, and it was an honor and a pleasure to play some NES games for you guys. Thanks for tuning in to this. You're not going to miss much on the end of this gameplay. Just making our way up to Dracula. Once again, I apologize for the unusual format of the show tonight, but like I said, Mike and Nick couldn't make it because of the thunderstorms going on. But I've had a blast playing Nintendo games for you guys. We actually made it through Contra and Life Force. Contra, what? We died 1 time, Life Force, no deaths? Not bad. Castlevania, not so much.
dare to answer.
Hi!
Twin Galaxies Live got an exclusive look at Gauntlet. Brian had to mess with the game. They said, don't touch that one over there. And what did Brian do? Brian had to touch. We need you guys to play the game Gauntlet and free us from the dungeon. Win cool stuff.
There's lots of stuff lying around.
This.
Ooh, that's cool. I found a chest. But not that one.
Tuesday, I think we can.
Wednesdays work better.
What do you mean Wednesdays work better for you? Look,
I got a thing with the Valkyrie. She promised she showed me some.
You didn't see the bell. We just got into the game. Get us out of the game. This dungeon is huge. No, that's what she said. Why are you pushing me?